I suppose at the beginning of this video, I should give you all a fair spoiler alert warning. If you do not want to know anything about The Last of Us Part 2's story, please click off of this video now. But the writers on this project literally had to make Joel dumber than he was in 1 so that it would lead to his death. It is pretty pathetic in my opinion that you literally had to downgrade a character to end up with the result that you wanted. Instead of killing off a character with dignity, they've pulled a Game of Thrones and Daenerys. Now, even though I didn't like the character, it was character assassination. They built her up for 8 seasons as a compassionate yet strong character, and then in the final season they had her forget about the Iron Fleet so that she lost one of her dragons so that it was more cinematic, and they also had her burn a city to the ground, pushing aside all of the other well thought out moments so that they could have the story that they wanted. Honestly, one of the largest mistakes in television, in my opinion, and this doesn't seem much better. Back to The Last of Us 2 and Joel, though, we are only a few days away from launch of the game, and I've covered a lot surrounding it. I've covered the copyright strikes, the game being banned in the Middle East, reviews that the game has been getting, and I thought as the last video before the game comes out, I would read you all the assassination of Joel as a character, because The Last of Us Part 1 was mainly about Joel and Ellie's adventure together. The strong bond that they had, the things that Joel did to protect Ellie, the girl that he claimed as his daughter, and even though there were many people excited about the sequel, there have been a lot of leaks, and I really wanted to discuss the final leaks before the finished product is out and consumers are able to try it. So this is an article from Bounding Into Comics titled New Leaks for The Last of Us Part 2 Reveal Events Leading to Joel's Ending. As a lot of you probably know, there has been a lot of the game that is leaked online over the past 2 months. We have seen cutscenes leaked, we have seen hours upon hours of the game leaked, and now that we are just days away from the launch, we are finally hearing kind of the details that are leading to Joel's death. Hitting the internet just days before release, new cutscene leaks for Naughty Dog's The Last of Us 2 have revealed the true nature of the events surrounding Joel's death, a major plot twist first seen in the previous set of leaks. First posted to the subreddit community The Last of Us 2, the cutscenes were recorded and uploaded as a series of 3 videos by a user. The first cutscene shows new playable character Abby and Owen, an NPC introduced in The Last of Us Part 2, arriving upon the settlement in Jackson County, Wyoming, where Joel's brother Tommy, and at the time Joel, are currently residing. After arriving, Abby is eager to rush in and find Joel, to which Owen tells her that he is unsure about the personal risk faced from her lack of a plan, especially now that his wife is pregnant. It seems like Abby is one of those characters that doesn't really think before she acts, just kind of seems like she's one of those characters that does what her gut tells her to do. Later in the game, a player-controlled Abby is rescued from a horde of infected and led to temporary safety by Tommy and Joel. After finding a moment to catch their breath after locking themselves in a cabin, Abby suggests that the trio get to her friend's place in a mansion a small ways north, to which Tommy and Joel almost immediately agree. That doesn't sound like Joel at all. After we read all of this, I will give you my thoughts on that, but that is extremely suspicious. Also, yes, if you did not know, you are going to be able to play as Abby in the game, the woman that single-handedly kills our favorite characters. Upon reaching Abby's friends, Joel and Tommy again introduce themselves without caution, to which the group replies that they're already aware of their identities. As the strangers move to surround the two brothers, Abby pulls the trigger on a shotgun and disable Joel's leg, while her friends restrain Tommy from fighting back. When Joel tells her to hurry up and finish him off, Abby orders his leg to be bandaged, relinquishes the shotgun, grabs a golf club, and orders her compatriots to leave the room as she tells Joel, "You don't get to rush this." And of course, what follows is now the infamous golfing scene in which Abby beats Joel to death with the club in revenge for killing her father. Curiously, Joel can be seen in these cutscenes constantly sharing his name, whether when shouting to Tommy or volunteering it to the group at the mansion, as well as instantly agreeing to cooperate and trust strangers the moment he meets them. Maybe the writers are forgetting who Joel is, or maybe Vara.exe has stopped working, but this does not sound like Joel at all. He's been through loss and pain and heartbreak, and he's never trusted anyone easily. And from the one game that we have seen him in, he's not just a pushover, dim-witted character. He's always been vigilant in what he's doing and who he is trusting, and I understand a lot of the story is supposed to be about deception and how characters have changed, but after everything Ellie and Joel have been through, do you really think that they'd become dumber? I thought that we could look at the lastofus.fandom.com wiki for Joel and just look at his personality and traits really quickly to kind of back all of my claims up. Described as being in his late 40s, Joel knows what the world looked like before it was devastated. Over time, he has become less bound by mortality and more driven by doing whatever is necessary to survive. I don't really think that telling people your identity and completely trusting them the minute you meet them is really going to do your survival any good. Joel has been described as a violent thug, a brutal killer, and a torturer. He is shown to be able to kill his enemies with noteworthy brutality, earning his infamous reputation to those he encounters. David calls him a crazy man. During the aftermath of the epidemic that struck the country, he has resorted to working in black market dealings and smuggling items or people of interest through quarantine zones or other designated areas. And because of this, he has accumulated valuable knowledge in regards to surviving in the post-apocalyptic environment. If you had these strengths, if your personality trait was that you've learned how to survive, do you really think that this character would just be willy-nilly giving other characters information about who they are? Oh yeah, this is my name, this is who I am. Especially when you're pretty disliked. I mean, Joel isn't a character beloved by all in the franchise, so you think that he would want to be extra careful. Those are all of the leaks that I'm going to read. I'm not going to show the video either, just because I'm not going to do that. The Last of Us Part 2 does release very soon, and I'm curious if you all are going to be picking it up. I know that there are a lot of people that are very excited for it still, and if you are, good for you. Go and pick it up, support the product, and I hope that it is all that you hope. But for me, I'm not convinced. I really loved The Last of Us Part 1. I thought that a lot of the story was good, but this just doesn't sound like the same cast of characters in a way. It sounds drastically different than the direction I thought. And you know, through all of these leaks and spoilers and all of the interviews that people like Neil Druckmann have given, whatever happened to the zombies? This was supposed to be an apocalyptic game. Where's the apocalypse? This just sounds like a coming-of-age story for Ellie, and with her fucked up father that doesn't know how to protect himself or his daughter at this point. But that's all that I had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and are you planning to pick it up or are you planning to pass on it? If you enjoyed this video and found it important, please make sure to give it a like and of course share it. And of course, if you did not, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.